Good morning. We're live on day one of the 27th ASGCT annual meeting here in the lobby at the Baltimore Convention Center. I'm Lynnea Olivarez, incoming chair of ASGCT's Communications Committee. Our very first guest in our mini podcast series, Soundbites of the ASGCT annual meeting, is none other than ASGCT President Dr. Jeff Chamberlain. For those of you who don't know him, Jeff is the McCaw Chair in Muscular Dystrophy and professor at the Institute for Stem Cell and Regeneration at the University of Washington. And for this year's annual meeting, Jeff served as chair of the program committee, sat on the abstract planning committee, and is co-chair of the awards symposia today and Thursday, and of the presidential symposium tomorrow. You can also catch him at a fireside chat on Friday. Phew. Welcome, Jeff.
Hi, it's great to be here. I'm really excited about the meeting this year.
Awesome. And if you could describe this year's annual meeting in one word, what would that be?
Fantastic.
That's a good word. And you have such a unique vantage point convening the top minds in CGT from around the world. What's that been like over the past year?
It's been a tremendously exciting and also a humbling experience to meet so many brilliant people, to realize the current scope of what's going on in gene and cell therapy, and to be a part of bringing this all together, to present it to everyone, and have so many outstanding physicians and scientists come together and talk about the state of the art. Our field is in a fantastic position, and I think it's going to be really exciting to hear all the latest that's going on.
Yeah, and there's more than 1,800 abstracts this year, right?
That's right. We're excited that this is going to be the biggest and I think the best ASGCT meeting ever. It's been really gratifying to see the growth of the society, and which is really just reflective of the growth of the field. I was fortunate enough to be at the very first ASGCT meeting many years ago, so long ago I can barely remember. And at the time, I think we had about 300 people at the first meeting. So it has really taken off, as the field has as well. Back in the early days of the field, I was still having people come up to me and say, this gene therapy stuff will never work. And it is working. It's been working for a while, and it's working more and more. And, one of the exciting things about the meeting this year is going to be hearing about all the successes in the clinic, what we're learning, some of the problems as well, which, of course, we just use to develop the next generation of solutions and move on from there. So the field has matured significantly, and it's just going to be so exciting to hear all the data that's coming out this year.
And what do you hope that attendees take away from this year's meeting?
Well, I hope they'll learn, what's important in the field. A little bit about the history, what got us here, but also where we are now and where we need to go in the future. One of the things that I've tried to bring to the meeting this year through my own background as more of a basic and translational research scientist is the importance of bridging both basic research, fundamental knowledge, moving that forward in a translational way and using that to develop the gene therapies that are now leading to success and approvals. It's been a very exciting time in terms of gene therapy approvals over the last year. There are at least 20 gene therapies that have now been approved worldwide, over half of those here in the United States. And, none of those, sometimes people forget, none of those would have happened without basic discoveries at the lab bench, and usually in academia, sometimes in the biotech industry. And we need to push forward on all of those fronts to keep the field moving forward and making sure that gene and cell therapies have the impact that we think they're going to have on medical health care.
Absolutely, and those are some of the themes we'll definitely be digging into this week on our Soundbite series. So finally, when we see you here this time next year, what do you hope the big headline will be? What do you hope the advances will have been in a year's time?
Well, it's a little hard to predict the future, but I think we'll have significantly more approved gene therapies. We'll have some exciting developments and new discoveries that probably nobody is anticipating even today. So it's going to be a fantastic time at the meeting next year. And I think next year when I come to the meeting, I'm going to be a little more relaxed and go to a lot more of the talks than I'm able to this year. But so I'll look forward to not only this year's meeting, but next year's meeting, and many more to come, too. So.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, and we look forward to seeing you around the convention center this week. Have a great conference.
Well, thank you, and I hope to see everybody at Power Plant Live on Friday evening. We're going to have a fantastic party this year. So.
Fantastic. Thanks, everyone.